Why you can never fully understand other people. Have you ever felt like you truly understood someone? You thought you knew what they were thinking, how they would react, and what kind of person they were. But then one day, they did something completely unexpected, and you found yourself wondering, did I misunderstand this person all along? The truth is, this happens to all of us, because no matter how close we are to someone, we can never fully understand another human being. It may sound a little pessimistic, but it is actually one of the most important truths about human relationships. Psychologists have a term called theory of mind. It refers to our ability to imagine what other people are thinking, feeling, and intending to do. This ability is incredibly important. It allows us to see someone crying and assume they are sad. It allows us to notice someone repeatedly checking the time and think they are anxious or impatient. It helps us build friendships, work together, fall in love, and live in society. But this ability has one major limitation. We never actually know what is happening inside another person's mind. We are only making our best guess. We do not live inside other people's heads. We simply create a version of them inside our own. Imagine sending a text message to a friend. They read it, but they don't reply. Within seconds, your mind starts creating stories. Are they upset with me? Did I say something wrong? Do they no longer like me? But the reality could be completely different. Maybe they are busy. Maybe they just received bad news. Maybe they are exhausted. Or maybe they simply forgot to respond. The fascinating thing is that we often do not react to reality itself. We react to the story our minds have created. And because every person has different life experiences, the stories we create are also different. If you have been abandoned before, you may become extremely sensitive to silence. If you have been betrayed, you may easily question other people's intentions. If you grew up feeling ignored, you may interpret ordinary actions as signs of rejection. In other words, we do not see people exactly as they are. We see them through the lens of our own experiences. And this is the first reason why we can never fully understand one another. The second reason is that human beings are constantly changing. We often think of people as fixed identities. This person is kind. That person is selfish. This person is strong. That person is weak. But real human beings are much more complicated than that. Someone can appear cheerful at work while feeling lonely at home. Someone can appear incredibly strong while silently carrying deep emotional pain. Someone who is motivated today may feel completely lost tomorrow. Human beings are not statues. We are more like rivers, constantly moving and changing. Even you are not the same person you were yesterday. You used to enjoy things that no longer interest you. You once hated something that you eventually learned to love. You once believed you could never forgive someone, only to discover that time had changed your feelings. If we do not fully understand ourselves, how can we expect to completely understand another person? There's a third reason. Every person lives in a different reality. Two people can experience the exact same event and walk away with completely different meanings. One person sees failure as the end of everything. Another sees it as an opportunity to grow. One person hears criticism and feels insulted. Another hears criticism and sees a valuable lesson. The event is the same. The meaning is different. We are different not only in our thoughts, but also in our memories, beliefs, fears, values, and experiences. Every person wears a different pair of glasses through which they view the world. And because of that, nobody sees reality in exactly the same way. Perhaps our biggest mistake is thinking, if I were in their situation, I would never act like that. But they are not you. They do not have your childhood. They do not carry your experiences. They do not have your fears, your wounds, or your values. You are trying to navigate someone else's world using your own map, and then you are surprised when you get lost. This leads to an interesting paradox. The more convinced we are that we completely understand someone, the more likely we are to misunderstand them. Because the moment we believe we already know everything, we stop being curious, we stop listening, we start judging. Maybe true understanding doesn't begin with the words, "I understand you." Maybe it begins with the words, "I don't think I fully understand you yet." That's not a sign of distance, it's a sign of humility. It's the humility to recognize that every human being has an inner world that no one else can fully see. And it's this humility that makes us listen more, ask more questions, and become more compassionate. Perhaps we will never completely understand another person, but that doesn't mean we can't become closer to them. Sometimes the most beautiful part of a relationship is not being able to read each other's minds. It's being willing to sit beside someone, listen to them, and accept that there are parts of their inner world that we may never fully know. Because people do not need someone who can read their minds. They need someone who is honest enough to say, "I may never completely understand what you're going through, but I'm willing to listen, and I'm here with you."